Alright, so I know I've been saying this a lot every time, and I know the video that I made back in like maybe 2 weeks ago, literally no one watched it because I didn't remind anyone. The thing is, how was it like in the prison academy for it? And I had to say, 12 years of being in a prison academy, yeah. And you know what I'm talking about. You know school, it's like prison. You trapped for 12 years. You can't do anything you want. You had to ask to go to the bathroom. You had to ask for things. You had to ask to be ordered for stuff. If you do good, you get rewarded. If you do bad, then you get punished. I think that's how people in prison get treated. And plus, yeah, the school lunch is nasty to them, just like jail food. But just like you in the cell, all those doors that you in are cells, but people in it, all your inmates. I don't want to call people friends in school. I want to call them inmates because that's how people are. There's no friends in jail, just like there's no friends in school. If you think I'm speaking crazy, then you don't get it. You not getting where I'm coming from, man. I'm not here to talk about my school experience of being in, you know, in the prison academy. So I had a lot of enemies. I didn't have friends. The reason why I didn't have friends because one, my disability and how I acted, it really made people uncomfortable. But it's not my fault because people were born that way. You can't talk about other people, and that's sad. Me being called retarded, me having outbursts, me throwing chairs, yeah, it's like you taking care of a psychopath in a behavior health center. That's what it was like. You in prison. Basically, we had to wear uniforms. We had to pay every Friday. We had to pay $3 to wear jeans and whatever we want. Yeah, you new generation of kids are entitled. You can do whatever the hell you want. Trust, because if you was like me back in the day, trust, you wouldn't have to go through the same fate to the point where it piss you off. But now, yeah, that was pretty much my experience. But I'm not done yet. You've been in school for like 10 to 12. Yeah, like 7 to like 2 o'clock. I meant, or 3. That's when you get out, and then you just freaking, in class being bored, sleep, want to get out already, dude. That's how school is. You can't wait for it to end. And plus, people be crying because you. And yeah, that is the sad thing. Because when kids literally get split up from their families and hang out with this stranger, you know, you letting a stranger take your kid, they're gonna be end up crying. They're gonna put them in a prison, and they the only thing they're gonna be doing is just crying because they don't know where they at, man. They in prison. You put them in a prison center where they're gonna miss their moms, cry and cry, cry until they freaking get used to the school. I mean, to the prison academy, and be like, hey, it's not that bad. But what is gonna be bad is that you're gonna have inmates beating the shit out of you. And I'm not gonna talk about elementary. I'm gonna talk about in middle school because middle school, man, trust. I was in Kip Charlotte, and I heard a lot of yelling, a lot of freaking. The list goes on. Because every time when people be acting up and stuff, you'll have one of the strangers freaking, speaking to the inmates like they freaking in military school or something, man. Like, dude, no, you ain't gonna be yelling at me. They'll be like this. So I'm tired of your mouth. Stop running it. Because I'm saying something. And you keep speaking over me. Because I'm saying this. I do not want to hear you talking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Kip. They'll be quiet. Next thing you know, they'll start yelling. Interrupting class. Interrupting other people, being like, what are you yelling for, man? Like, take that shit outside. I don't want to hear your conversation. I don't want to hear you discipline somebody else. That's messed up. Like, don't homeschool your kids. I actually blame the parents because you over here saying that I love you, but I want you to be better. No, you don't. If you love your kid, you wouldn't have a stranger care of your kid for you, babysit your kid for you, treat your kid, or to the point where they just can't do it anymore. They're like, I can't do this no more. You're just a badass kid that just don't want to listen. And you want to know what I'm just gonna do? Just gonna go on with class. That's how it is. If you don't want to listen in class, you put your head down. That's what they're gonna do. Going with the next lesson, they're just gonna say, hey, they failed. And then you gonna be pissed off. First of all, why you gonna get pissed off at the kid? You put them in the school system instead of homeschooling them. And the thing is, you have full knowledge. You're full educated. Educate him before you end up giving them to your kid. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Homeschool your kid. It don't matter what the freaking public say. You ain't about to put your kid in a school full of inmates where they beat on them, pick on him, bully him, and then in high school he just fails. Because trust, when every time they're in like kindergarten and stuff, they be learning about, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? An astronaut, a doctor, a nurse. I want to be a fireman. Trust and believe they're not gonna be any of that stuff because one, those are the only jobs they get. Astronaut, fireman, anything else you can think of? What about a rapper? What about any of that? Nah, they don't tell you any of that. Every history in school, they're hiding it from you. All your history's been hid from you, being buried, washed away. You just learn about all these fake Egyptians, white people acting like they were here first. This Boston Tea Party, this American history, and you knowing what's the capital of Idaho, and that's actually not a bad idea. If you want to learn that, learn from your parents. It's best you just homeschool your kid and give them the truth instead of having them being brainwashed by the white lie and having them get abused by the inmates. And trust and believe, the inmates are actually like that. They abuse you. I don't want nobody yelling at my kid, abusing him, freaking grabbing him all the time, giving his arm like he's some dang robot. Nah, I don't want them doing that to him. And I don't want people beating up my kid. Like, nah, forget that. You're not gonna be abusing my kid. And trust, you can wear anything you want in other schools, but it's not like that. But it's the same treatment, just you just wear anything you want. I'm glad people be worried, ready to get out of school because they're just tired of it. They can't take it anymore. And that's how it was. That's how my school experience was. I didn't have any friends at all, and I'm glad because friends don't matter. What matters is family. As long as you got family that love you and raise you and take care of you, you're good. But the rest of these people, I don't care. I don't care about friends. I don't care about any of these relationships. All of them were hood rats in middle school, and now they're gonna be gold diggers in high school. I didn't worry about dating anyone. The only thing I did is just hit and run, grab, touch. That's it. Next thing you know, I'm out. The only thing I use girls for their head and they tail, coin tossing the asses, like they freaking party strippers or something like that. Yeah, that's it. And then you got the pep rally. No, forget that. We're gonna talk about the inmates still. It's like that in school, man. They be teaching you all that gay BS, saying that they this, they that, but they get it from their parents or other people that taught them that stuff, and they learn it from their parents before they learn it at school. Yeah, it's like when people call on you, you had to raise your hand. They got the bell. You had to sing the Precious Allegiance to the flag. Pretty much, that's how it is. That's how it is. And then when the bell rings, that's when it's time to go out and go get some lunch and be free. And then once the bell rings, you gotta go back to your jail cell. That's how it is. You can't trespass. If you trespass, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna search for you to the point where they're gonna get you back in the jail cell and then put you in lockout and send you home. That's how it is. That's basically how school is. That's what they mean by surviving school. It's like jail. Some of you people might think whatever I said was stupid, but it's the truth. You being brainwashed and you being treated like an inmate. You're not treated like a kid, you're treated like an inmate. Like you're the inmate and that's the stranger. And the stranger is the police. If you act up and be bad and and disobey them, guess what they're gonna give you? They're gonna give you a punishment. They're gonna one have your mom come to the school and abuse you, and then they record it. Yeah, I remember that. Some of these kids got whooped in school, and everybody was laughing at them, and the teacher was laughing at your teacher. And first, I don't like the parents by that. Why the fuck would you whoop your kids in front of people? If you want to beat your kids, knowing that you can't, well, you can. It's your kid. You raise them how you want. Don't do it in school. Do it inside the home, because that's how they're gonna be remembered in 5 years in the future. Because in the long run, that's gonna hunt them. How you treat them is gonna affect their lives to the point where they want to commit suicide. And that's the truth. That's what people are doing, because they're not living a great life. That's why they all here acting all like they atheists, being all these mumble rappers, thinking that their life is great. But inside them, they're not living it great. Because one, they're asking for help. They want help from you people. Because they have families that mistreat them and friends that didn't give a shit about them. And trust, that's how it is in life. It's basically how it is in freaking the Prison Academy. Where I can say, in prison, you had to eat school food. I remember in Chip, they had us eat TV dinners, and then people would start asking for my cornbread and try to trade me over some Takis, realizing that was not going to happen. You was not going to give me the whole bag of Takis, man, for some cornbread. And that was the same as that way, too, because in school is bogus. You just bother people all day because you're just ready to get out, man. I can't deal with just being in a teacher's face. And guess what time to get out? You went there to a.m. to 5 p.m. or like 7 o'clock a.m. to freaking 5 o'clock p.m. till the sun goes down. Trust, man, that's military for you. Every school, even though if they let you wear everything you want, it's the Prison Academy, man. It don't matter. Well, I think that's all I had to say in this video. I hope you got what I said. Or some of y'all didn't listen, or y'all gonna think I'm crazy still, because you know the people who speak truth get looked at crazy, like Jesus freaks, like we the freaking people that speak all this hate and stuff. That's how we're gonna get looked at. But one day they're gonna look back at this video and say that, hey, this man was actually saying something. School was like prison. That's why I hated it so much. And he's not lying. It is true. It is like prison. And especially working those computer jobs, they're like prison too. Every day you go up, you get up, you go to work, you freaking repeat your life all over like a robot. You're being treated like robots, people. And that's how they want you. They want to program your brain. They want to mind control you. MK Ultra stuff. Well, yeah, knowing that they want to access your ID and your phone number. That's what they're going to do. But nowadays, they're using hand scans. You already know what hand scans means. Mark of the beast, where they're going to put the chip in your hand, where all your information, your phone number, everything, you're pretty much going to live in a digital world. All your phone numbers, your addresses, your emails, your credit card, insurance, your conversation, whatever you're watching on TV, even TV reads your mind. It's all going to be put out there. They're going to look for it, search it, and then they're going to put it out there and be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, we see you. Come in for work. That's how it is. It's pretty much how it is, man. But the thing is, you tell these people, the only thing they're just going to do is ignore you and just keep on with their life. It's hard to tell wicked people stuff. You can't really. Actually, I'm done. Peace out, and I'm done, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm sorry this video had to be long, but I had to spread the truth. And whatever I just said was the truth. Have a nice day, guys.